Hey, so we want to talk a little bit about our recoil spring assemblies. So these are Gen 4 compatible pistols. That really means that most of what's in the gun is Gen 4 design. But the one thing we have done differently is the recoil springs. So just to orient everybody, I do have a Gen 4 Glock factory. This is the OEM approach to a recoil spring assembly for the Gen 4 Glock 19. So it's a tandem recoil spring. It's obviously mostly stamped and then injection molded polymer. They work, it's a good part, but it is obviously a low cost part, and it's non-adjustable. What we're doing is a machined stainless steel guide rod with a chrome silicon spring, and then the advantage, of course, is the user can adjust the recoil spring weight to what they want. You're stuck with whatever Glock gave you here, but with this, you can insert a key through the hole in the side of the rod, and you can twist off the nut at the end, and change out spring weights. Why would I want to do that? Well, this gun plays well in a lot of places, including the competition world, and so it makes a lot of sense to change recoil spring weights when you're shooting lighter loads for maybe IDPA or USPSA, where you have a 125 power factor. You don't need full power ammunition, and you want to control your recoil a little better. So that's the advantage of having an adjustable spring. It's also easy to replace that spring. We usually say 5,000 to 7,000 rounds, depending on what you're shooting. With a chrome silicon spring, it's a little longer than what would be a normal recoil spring, but you do want to periodically change them. And so since you have that high quality machined recoil spring rod, you obviously want to keep the rod, and you switch out the spring. So, wait a minute, it's got a threaded screw in the end. Isn't that going to unthread, and isn't my gun going to stop working, and so on and so forth? So we understand that. The reality is, with either blue or if you want to make it permanent red Loctite, it'll never come unthreaded. Even if it did, the gun still functions fine. So that cap, all that really does is retain the spring when it's out of the gun. So the gun will run fine even if that were to fall out, which frankly, in thousands of rounds of testing, has never happened for us. But it can happen, I get it, and so that's why it's designed with the rod long enough to where the gun will still feed function and fire without the cap on the end. Okay? If you really want to have a stock type recoil assembly, then you can certainly put that in your slide, and it would work fine as well. But this just gives more flexibility. It's a higher quality product overall, and we think it's a better answer for the various uses that the multi-roll 918, the MR 918, could be used for.